Hey everyone, welcome. In this devotional, brought to you by the You Need Faith in Jesus team, we're going to dive into one of the most emotionally raw psalms in the entire Bible, Psalm 89. It really grapples with a huge question, one we all face. How do you hold on to God's absolute, unchanging faithfulness when your life feels like it's completely falling apart? Let's get into it. So the psalm just kicks off with his incredibly bold declaration. The psalmist, a man named Ethan, isn't just quietly thinking this. No, he commits to singing it, to making it known with his mouth. He sees God's mercy like a permanent building and his faithfulness as something fixed in the heavens themselves. It's a loud, public promise to build a legacy of faith for everyone who comes after him. Now, to really feel the weight of the pain that's coming later in the psalm, we first have to get a solid grip on the foundation of his confidence, and it's all built on a very specific and what he believes is an unbreakable promise from God. Right here, the psalmist is quoting God directly. He's talking about what we know as the Davidic Covenant. This is God's unconditional promise to King David that his family line, his throne, would be established forever. This promise is the absolute central pillar of the entire psalm, and of course for us it points right to its ultimate fulfillment in Jesus Christ, the descendant of David whose kingdom really will have no end. Just look at the breakdown of roles here. Notice where all the responsibility is. God does everything. He makes the covenant, he swears the oath, he establishes, he protects, and David, he's simply the chosen recipient. This isn't some 50-50 deal. It's a one-sided, unconditional promise, where the entire burden of making it happen rests completely on God. So then the psalmist just starts building his case for why this God can be trusted to keep such a massive promise. He points to God's raw power over creation itself, his ability to command the raging sea. He remembers God's history of defeating the most powerful empires, like Rahab, which is a really cool poetic name for Egypt. The logic is crystal clear. If God is the creator and owner of everything, then his authority is absolute, and his very character is a perfect mix of justice and mercy. And this is the climax of the whole praise section. God basically puts his own holy character on the line for this promise. He's saying he can't break it because he can't lie. It would go against who he is. The promise is as permanent, as reliable as the sun you see in the sky. It's supposed to be the most certain thing in the universe. And then, everything just changes. The tone shifts from the highest mountain of praise to the deepest, most painful valley of lament. It's a jarring sudden turn, and it's meant to hit us hard. Wow. After celebrating God's unbreakable promise, the psalmist turns around and, using the strongest language you can imagine, basically accuses God of breaking it. He's looking at his reality, a defeated king, a nation in ruins, maybe after Jerusalem was destroyed, and it seems to completely contradict everything he just said. From where he's standing, it looks like God has thrown them away and made the covenant worthless. He lists all the evidence, the defenses are destroyed, the king is publicly shamed, his throne is literally thrown to the ground. And this brutal honesty is so crucial. It teaches us that real faith isn't about pretending we don't have doubts or pain. It's about having the guts to bring our honest confusion and hurt straight to God. And now, the lament gets deeply personal. This isn't just about a national crisis anymore. This is the desperate cry of one person trying to figure out how what they believe about God can possibly be true in light of what they're actually experiencing. He asks, how long? Who hasn't felt that? It's the classic question from someone who's suffering. It feels like God is hiding, like his anger will never end. He even starts questioning the whole point of being human. If God's promises can fail and we all just die anyway, what's the point of any of it? It's a raw, universal cry from a heart in pain. And here, his final plea takes this fascinating turn. He asks God to act, not just for their sake, but for the sake of his own reputation. He points out that their enemies are mocking them, and when they do that, they're really mocking God and his promises. The prayer basically becomes, Lord, defend your own name. Show the world who you really are. And this brings us to the final, absolutely stunning conclusion of the psalm. There's no magical answer from heaven, no sudden change in their circumstances. Instead, there's a profound change in the psalmist's own heart. After pouring out all his pain, all his doubts, all his accusations, the psalm ends with this, a sudden, powerful burst of praise. This isn't praise based on understanding or solved problems. It is a deliberate choice to bless the Lord, no matter what. That double amen is like a defiant declaration. So be it.
He's choosing to trust God's character over his own circumstances. And that's really what Psalm 89 teaches us true faith is. It's not the absence of questions or pain. It's the decision to trust in the unchanging character of God, even when our circumstances and our own understanding are screaming the exact opposite.
So how do we actually live this out? Well, the psalm gives us this incredible roadmap to follow. First, we declare his faithfulness. We speak it, we sing it, even when it feels hard. Second, we're brutally honest. We present our laments, all our confusion and pain, directly to God. And third, after we've poured it all out, we make a conscious choice to conclude with praise, to reaffirm our trust in him. You know, the entire message of Psalm 89 is just so powerfully captured in this one verse from the book of Job. It's this defiant statement of trust that holds on to God himself when everything else is gone. It really makes you think, what does it look like to hold on to that kind of faith in our own storms? We really hope this exploration of Psalm 89 has been an encouragement to you. This devotional explainer was brought to you by the You Need Faith in Jesus team.